Welcome to another episode of the program Transforming Agriculture in Nigeria. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. One of the major drawbacks in Nigeria's agricultural practice is the reliance by a significant percentage of the nation's farming population on manual labor to undertake farm jobs. This, in effect, results in low output and, of course, the inability of the country to produce enough to meet domestic demands for food. This also explains why the nation depends on imports to make up for the shortfall. There is, however, a renewed impetus to change this trend. The new thinking is to make farming activities less labor-intensive by popularizing mechanized agriculture, which presently is relatively very low in Nigeria. In today's episode of Transforming Agriculture in Nigeria, we shall be exploring agricultural mechanization and seeing what efforts government is making towards raising the bar. The program also spotlights the National Center for Agricultural Mechanization in Nigeria to bring you the various inroads it has made in bringing mechanization to the level of the average farmer in Nigeria. Stay tuned for the full program after this timeout. Welcome back. Let's quickly take the news segment highlighting activities involving key functionaries of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development and stakeholders. Stay with us.
The government is concerned, and thus the government will do something.
The Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Mohammed Sabo Nanuno, has restated the commitment of the federal government to support farmers whose farms were devastated by floods during the rainy season with relevant input for dry season farming. He stated this during an inspection tour of flooded farmlands in Kebbi State to ascertain the level of devastation. About 270 kilometers of farming communities in Kebbi State were affected, including Arugungu, Natsimingada, and areas along Dukku Makera Road. The floods, which destroyed farmlands and crops in Kebbi and other states in the country, led to the destruction of 450,000 hectares of rice farmlands, among other crops. Governor of Kebbi State, Abubakar Bagudu, who accompanied the minister during the tour, disclosed that the visit by the minister was not a mere show of sympathy, but one that renews hope and confidence. He said the flooding often emanates from the overflow of the Goronyo and Bakalori dams in the north and River Niger to the south, leading to loss of lives, livestock, and fishing grounds.
We are glad that you are here, because sometimes the video cannot convey the message. More so the human emotion of people. This is not unique to Kebbi. Regrettably, it's happening across the state, but we know the place of pride that Kebbi occupies today.
Earlier, the minister's delegation and the governor paid a visit to traditional rulers of the areas. They include the Sarkin Kebbi Arugungu, Alhaji Samaila Muhammad Mera, and the Emir of Gwandu, Alhaji Ilyasu Bashar. The Institute for Agricultural Research Zaria has disclosed that it will be releasing suitable varieties of the Artemisia plant to Nigerian farmers beginning from mid-2021 following breakthroughs recorded in the breeding exercise being undertaken by the Institute. The head of the breeding unit of the Artemisia program of the IAR, Dr. Muhammad Sagir, disclosed this at a briefing in Zaria. He, however, noted that there are still a few steps to be taken, including agronomy, standardization, and approval by the National Agricultural Seed Council to complete the process, saying that the results are promising.
In this field, we have a lot, more than 500 individual plants which was composed of different morphological features, from which we will now do our selection and then carry out line evaluation of the individual plants to ascertain their genetic quality, from which we hope in the next 3 to 4 years we'll be able to release varieties of Artemisia that can be developed, that can be produced by the farmers.
Artemisia is a medicinal plant grown extensively in countries like China for its artemisinin content, which is used mainly for the production of anti-malaria and other drugs. Some species of the plant can be found in the forest of Nigeria, but this research by the IAR is the first attempt by Nigeria to begin commercial production of the plant to support the nation's pharmaceutical industry.
Thanks for being there. According to the West African Society of Agricultural Engineers, 90% of Nigerian farmers use hand tool technologies for agricultural production. With a greater percentage of its farming population using hand tools, food security is quite difficult to attain in a country with a population of 200 million. The federal government is aware of this fact and is working towards agricultural mechanization, especially in the area of tractorization. What exactly does this mean? Let's get to know on records of the FDA.
The productivity of farmers is boosted by how efficient the methods adopted for land preparation, planting, and harvesting. These processes have been made more efficient with the advent of agricultural mechanization in the 19th to 20th century. The Food and Agricultural Organization (FAO), through its research findings, establishes that a person working with animal in farming can only feed 5 persons, while the one working with the tractor can feed 50. Today, mechanized farming is measured by how many tractors per 100 square kilometer a country has. On this scale, Nigeria is not doing well. With Nigeria looking towards food sufficiency and security, agricultural mechanization, as the minister and other stakeholders explain, is the most pressing way to go.
It is become necessary, absolutely necessary, that we have to mechanize. And why? Nigeria has a population of over 200 million people. So you can imagine that we have about 200 million people, mouths to feed. And also take into consideration that whatever we produce in this country, nearly 1/3 of it goes into our neighboring countries. So if we are producing the food that we are going to feed our people here, we have to take into consideration also of our neighbors. So that is why this mechanization becomes an issue and it becomes very important.
Kenya, with an estimated population of just over 53 million, is one of the most agriculturally mechanized in Africa, with 27 tractors per 100 square kilometers, while Nigeria, with estimated population of over 200 million, has a paltry 7 tractors to 100 square kilometers. The internationally adopted standard is 127 tractors per 100 square kilometers. How does Nigeria plan to bridge that huge gap?
If you look at Nigeria, we have the least density of tractors per square kilometer in Africa. A pity, but that is the truth. So we have to do something. And there have been many initiatives by the ministry. And we support many initiatives by the private sector to ensure that farmers have access to tractors and other farm implements that will increase farming efficiency.
The ministry, in its deliberate policy, came up with a program we call Aggregate Equipment Hiring Enterprise. This program is designed to make sure that we make tractors available to farmers on a higher cost basis, so that they can go to the enterprise, seek for, if you have a 2-hectare land, you can tell the vendor, I have 2 hectares in so-so location. He must have designed his cost per hectare. You can pay upfront and you'll be given a date when the tractor will go there, plow or harrow your land for you. So with that, people are now enjoying the services of mechanization, despite the fact that they don't own the tractors.
Under the scheme, service centers are to be established in all local government areas, complete with a tractor hiring scheme. Every tractor to have a tracking system to check malpractice, an IT and admin office, a mechanical workshop, storage facility, and standby technical staff to teach farmers how to go about the operations. Finally, it's to be owned by the people of the local governments.
That this system that we are going to, or mechanization that we are going on now, because typical of Nigeria, they will say, nah, it will not succeed because it's, no. It has succeeded in Mozambique, it has succeeded in Ghana and Mali, and I see no reason why that will not succeed in Nigeria. We are not different. If you are saying we are all black people, we have the same red blood, we have virtually the same culture, and I see no reason why. Sometimes I feel very, very annoyed. If it is in Nigeria, no, we are no different from other people. All what we need to do is get ourselves organized and focused, and also reduce urban politics in our economic activities. That's all.
You're still watching Transforming Agriculture in Nigeria. With the plan reeled out by government for agricultural mechanization in mind, it is good to know that the National Center for Agricultural Mechanization, NCAM, is breaking new grounds in creating solutions that are peculiar to the Nigerian terrain, mechanizing the entire farming process. It is an eye-opener. Why don't you come along as we explore what this government institution is doing in our next segment?
We try to avoid any chemical form of fertilizer or anything.
So from this day, what we learn here, that is what we take to our
I hope you are following the normal procedure of feeding.
We're a bit fascinated seeing things moving.
The need for Nigeria to attain self-sufficiency in food and fiber production led to the establishment of the National Center for Agricultural Mechanization by Decree Number 35 of 1990, now an Act of the National Assembly. Its mandates include to accelerate the pace of mechanization in the agricultural sector in order to increase the quantity and quality of agricultural products in Nigeria, research and innovate into indigenous technology, fabricate and produce local agricultural technology that can reduce drudgery using local materials.
Agriculture is the most important resources that God gave the country. We have vast arable land, we have human resources, we have everything that we need to make agriculture a priority. So the government said that we should prioritize agriculture, and in so doing, we as income, we have started encouraging the farmers by producing local equipment for them.
The heartbeat of NCAM resides with the Engineering and Scientific Services Department. This department services all other departments and assists in the production of research outputs, coming up with prototypes that are ready for commercialization.
Here in this workshop, we have lots of work.
Engineer Dr. Olushola Adebola Ogunjiri heads the Engineering and Scientific Services Department.
You see, when our researchers come up with the designs
is brought to the workshop here. And what we do, we analyze it and come up with a prototype. While we're analyzing, we are researching whether it will be a workable prototype. We are researching into the material. We are researching into the product for which that machine is produced for.
NCAM has come up with a rich array of local technologies that have empowered farmers over the years. Some of the field equipment developed to aid land preparation and planting are 30 horsepower tricycles, 40 horsepower medium-sized tractors, furrow planters on tractor mount, and rice transplanters in the pipeline. Indeed, mechanization does not end in the farm. Even processing in Nigeria needs simple processing machinery. Some processing machines developed are integrated rice milling machine capable of producing 1.5 tons per hour and mini rice sheller, groundnut decoktinator with a capacity of 1 ton per hour, hammer mill for maize, cassava, beans, other grains, cassava sifter with production capacity of 1 ton per hour, automated gari frying machine, winnowing machine, coffee processing unit, oil palm processing line, melon sheller with separator, 2.5 ton capacity maize sheller, 50 kilogram smoking kiln for smoking meat, chicken and fish, and coconut dehusking machine including coconut oil processor. These laudable technologies have been deployed and are in use by farmers locally and even beyond.
One of the things we have been able to do is to develop series of technologies for cassava processing, for rice processing, for maize processing. And we have been able to establish model processing centers that are run as businesses. For example, I'll give you a typical example. In Kwara State alone, we have 5 model rice processing centers. These are model rice processing centers that we have established. And as a result of the way those centers are run, many individuals has come to indent for this technology and been able to, they are run as business. The money they generate, they use it to plow back to the business and also expand on their own.
When African Rice, a training organized by international organization, they had to use this center to conduct the training to train other African countries in the production of treasures. And let me tell you, recently, in the whole of 23 West and Central African countries came together for a meeting and decided to make NCAM the center of excellence in agricultural mechanization in the whole of West Africa and Central Africa countries.
Agriculture is no longer the work of peasants.
One very effective way of empowering farmers in the area of using their technologies and maximizing on their services is through training, and NCAM has a lot it has delivered and still delivering to agricultural mechanization in Nigeria.
Averagely, you should be able to have trained up to 5,000 youths, yes, and women.
No doubt, NCAM is central to the success of mechanized agriculture in Nigeria, and thanks to the federal government's new agricultural mechanization policy. Through the agricultural equipment hiring enterprise component, more Nigerian farmers will be able to move their passion in food production to a more efficient level.
Today, in our Rural Spotlight, we focus on a community in Ilorin that not only plays host to NCAM, but is amongst the first to enjoy the technologies coming out of NCAM. So what have farmers at Idofian community been enjoying?
The farmers at Idofian community have the benefit of testing the farm machines and equipment of NCAM as they come fresh out of production. Like the cassava planters, rice and cassava harvesters, yam ridge makers, etc., and the community members are talking about it.
The time where they use hand, we know they get planting this thing harvest, but the time where they use tractor, in the past, the time where they use hand to do. Income they give us training how to plant maize, cassava, and rice. And they give us training how to plant it.
Income do a lot, as I'm saying. So by the time I'm using manual, when we have no come and support us, you can't have a large farm. But by the time when you're supporting us with tractor, plowing, harrowing, with a machine that's planting rice, so we have a lot of large farm. We are really support us in farming. We still need more. So no, the more they help us, the more we have a large farm.
And since I've been working, there's an establishment, NECAM. They used to help me. We go there normally for this thing, tractor hiring, anything farm equipment. They used to assist us within the community or outside even the states also. So we hire tractor, they will help us cultivating our land, do everything that is needed in the farm. After cultivation, they will even ask us if you want to harvest our crop like cassava. They have harvester that they normally use to uproot cassava for the people. So just to reduce the tension of this thing, of farming. So they make farming very, very lucrative.
Rice is considered as one of the most widely consumed grain. Roughly, 1/2 of the world population is wholly dependent on rice as a staple food. There are different types of rice ranging from basmati rice, black rice, brown rice, jasmine rice, red rice, wild rice, etc. Rice can be cooked by boiling or it can be grounded into flour. The history of rice cultivation can be traced back to Central and Eastern China and dates to 7000 to 5000 BCE. Today, more than 90% of the world's rice is grown in Asia, principally China, India, Indonesia, and Bangladesh, with smaller amounts grown in Japan, Pakistan, and various Southeast Asian nations. Rice is also cultivated in parts of Europe, in North and South America, and in Australia. Nigeria is the largest producer of rice in West Africa and the second largest producers in Africa. Nigeria closed its land borders to stamp out smuggling of rice in 2019. This boosted rice production to over 6 million metric tons from 4.8 million tons in 2015. In spite of this, Nigeria's consumption still holds higher than production. Nigeria is now ranked as the 14th largest producer of rice in the world. Rice is an essential cash crop in Nigeria, but it is mainly small-scale producers who commonly sell 80% of total production and consume only 20%. Rice generates more income for Nigerian farmers than any other cash crop in the country. Nigerians spend about 1 billion naira daily on importation of rice, but with the land border closure, Nigeria has saved about $800 million from the importation of rice within the period of 1 year. The main rice-producing states in Nigeria are Ebonyi, Kaduna, Kano, Niger, Benue, Taraba, Borno, Enugu, and Cross River.
Nigeria's quest for agricultural mechanization is the right way to go in view of the diversification thrust of this administration. Tomorrow is looking better for agriculture in Nigeria. So keep a date with us next week, same time, same station, for another eye-opening half hour on transforming agriculture in Nigeria. Do stay safe and bye for now.